Now, we talked about three teams that made blockbuster moves. A team that was integrating a player that should have been a huge integration was the Brooklyn Nets with Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons didn't have his best of games the other day versus Dallas. He definitely played much better than he has in previous games. But Kyrie Irving defended him post-game and said, we should all cut Ben Simmons slack for his poor start because he hasn't played in a long time. Now, JC, I know that you were very high on Ben Simmons. You used to think he could become an MVP candidate level player in the NBA. So I want to ask you, because you're a Nets fan, Ben Simmons plays for your team. How do you feel about Ben Simmons so far and what he's been offering?
All right, so far, I mean, I get the 5 games argument, but I don't think that's really an excuse for me. Ben Simmons, he doesn't like to attack the basket for whatever reason. He's athletically gifted. He's 6'10", super fast, doesn't like to attack the basket, doesn't attack. The offense is weird because he's a weird person to run your offense around. All he does is run to Kyrie or Kevin Durant, the only isolation scorers on the team, sets a screen, doesn't roll to the basket because he's afraid of going to the basket, and he's not a threat from the mid-range or three-point line. So a lot of the defense is key in and double-team Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Steve Nash still seems as inept as a coach as ever. He hasn't even tried to put Ben Simmons in positions to succeed. He hasn't tried mixing up the starting 5. I mean, Claxton, Ben Simmons, offensively, that's just disgusting to watch. And, you know, Ben Simmons defensively, everybody, a lot of people, and while it was warranted because he was a great defender in Philly, I mean, he's been getting cooked. I mean, John Moran gave him 40. Pascal Siakam gave him 37. Not all 37, but a lot of them were on him. Luka Doncic was bullying him. Giannis Antetokounmpo, for the most part, he held him in check in the first half. The second half, Giannis had 30 points, majority of them being on him. So he hasn't been able to offer anything offensively, and defensively, he's been getting annihilated by these superstars in NBA. In which, if the Nets want to contend, which I think it's over for that, I don't think they have a chance. But if they want to contend, you're gonna have to go see those type of players and defend them on a nightly basis or for a series. I haven't seen anything impressive with Ben Simmons. Free throw shooting is 44%. Defensively, he's not there. I don't know if it's from his lingering back surgery that he had in the offseason, or it's him just being nervous. I think it's a mixture of everything right now. I think Steve Nash is not putting him in positions to succeed. I think he's not being aggressive. And I think that they have to experiment other ways with him. I don't think it's smart to have him bringing up the basketball. The person who's guarding him guards him at the free throw line. No movement. He just doesn't do anything. The offense is stagnant with him. It's like a 4-on-5 out there, to be honest with you. And then defensively, like I said, he hasn't been anything spectacular defensively. So it's been very disappointing. It's 5 games. I get Kyrie saying that he's his teammate. He doesn't want to throw him under the bus. But even Kyrie Irving the other day, when he had an open layup, he's like, yo, shoot it, Ben. This guy's scared to shoot the ball, and he just looks like a shell of himself. I can just tell that he lacks confidence on the basketball court. And everybody who plays basketball or has played basketball knows that if you're not a confident basketball player, everything that you do is your whole game is going to be limited. And I think that's what we're seeing with Ben Simmons right now.
Man. You know, I just find it so funny because we were at this table in the summer, and a fellow co-host to the left of me, he believed in Brooklyn. You know, he believed in the Ben Simmons adjustment. And everybody, not this part, maybe not him, maybe he did say this, I don't know. Everybody thought Ben Simmons was this monumental defender that completely changes a defense. He completely does what Rudy Gobert does. He turns a garbage defense into a really good one. No, that's not how that goes.
I think the lack of Brooklyn having, I think Joel Embiid saved them a lot having a rim protector like that in Brooklyn. Brooklyn doesn't have any rim protector, so you're asking double the work from him.
I thought about that, and I was like,
I honestly think that's true.
It's possible, but why does people compare Ben Simmons to Draymond Green, right? And they say they're the same type of player. You know, Draymond Green's very impactful, even though he can have 2 points, and he's probably the most impactful guy in the court, right?
Definitely.
And people thought, well, Ben Simmons can play that role in Brooklyn. He can be the Draymond. Well, the difference between those situations, why people were wrong about that, is because Draymond Green is in the system. Steve Kerr has implemented a system that helps Draymond succeed, and Draymond is very good at it. Mind you, he also has 2 of the greatest shooters we've ever seen running around all day, and Draymond finds them. And Draymond is also aggressive at times. With Ben Simmons, you see, and this is not. I'm not even saying this this is not all Ben Simmons' fault. Same thing how I said with Westbrook. I don't think he should be the scapegoat. Same thing with Ben Simmons. I don't think he should be the scapegoat. He is the number one problem, but it's not just Ben Simmons. Simmons. Nash cannot coach
at all.
He has not put Ben in the right position to succeed, even though there isn't many spots where Ben Simmons can succeed in. I remember people were talking about put him in the dunker spot. Okay, well, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, as great of scorers they aren't these type of playmakers that really put others in the position to succeed. I don't think Kyrie is that type of playmaker. I don't think Kevin Durant is that type of playmaker in Brooklyn. Just talking about specifically Brooklyn, right? So then you have that. Ben Simmons has always had the ball in his hands in Philly. Now you put him in a position where those other two guys need the ball in their hands to make it happen. What is Ben out there doing? Setting screens. Like you said, he doesn't roll. He can't shoot, so he can't pick and pop. He's not really aggressive, so you don't even want him rolling because his man might get in the way, and you're just getting double teamed. Okay, offensively, you get him the ball. Who's guarding him? Well, the guy's guarding him is standing 5-10 feet back. What is he going to do? Probably a handoff to a shooter or pass to somebody else. He's not going to be aggressive. He puts no pressure on the defense to adjust. So the fact that he doesn't do that makes the offense kind of be a little bit one-dimensional, which Brooklyn's offense has been for the past 2-3 seasons. And, of course, Nash does not help that because he is a coach where, if we're being honest, when he was a basketball player, he had a system implemented for him. System. He had a D'Antoni system where his skills match with another person's. Now, he's a very smart basketball player. I'm not saying that. Definitely. But that system helped him be what he was. Well, he was great in Dallas.
He won him a couple MVPs.
Exactly.
I don't think he deserved it.
But I don't think, Ben Simmons has to get the slack because that's our jobs at the end of the day. All the extra shit, I understand. You don't have to attack his character, but he hasn't been playing good. He's fouled out in most of his games. He hasn't scored much. He hasn't been aggressive. And like you said, defensively, he hasn't been a great rim protector. He hasn't been great at the point of attack. He just hasn't been good. Has he not played in a year? Yes, he has not played in
Coming
years.
out with back surgery.
Yeah, so you have to give him that time to adjust, but he hasn't been good so far. And that's the same with all the players that's coming back from injury. Kawhi looks good in his limited minutes. Jamal's still trying to get it going. Zion looks amazing. So even though these guys are coming back, we still have to give them the proper critique. And Ben Simmons being in a position where he's playing off of two other guys, you have to be a little better.
There's a brand new fantasy app. It's called Boom Fantasy. You got over-unders, player props. You got matchups. This player versus that player. That's personally my favorite. And long shots. You can win 40 times your money. And if I'm not mistaken, Joel, NBA is coming soon.
Yes, sir. NBA will be in the app in the next 10 days or so. Wow. I believe opening night is October 19th, so we'll have stuff up a few days beforehand. That's going to be fun because we have it every night. You don't have to wait till Monday, Thursday.
Did you get your code for the League Pass?
I did get my code for the League Pass.
I got my code too.
Yep, that's amazing.
That's from 2K, right?
Yes.
That's tough.
Amazing.
That's fire.
So if you guys haven't already, download the Boom Fantasy app right now. Link is in our description or in the caption wherever you're watching. Ben Simmons right now in Brooklyn is averaging 5.4 field goal attempts per game. In Philly, the lowest it reached ever was 10.
What year was that?
This past year in Philly. Which means that he's taking half of his shots in Philly is what he's taking in Brooklyn. Ben Simmons deserves slack, but I think we have to realize this is who he is. He openly admitted that he struggled with mental health and in his recovery process. I don't think that it's insane to say that he just doesn't take basketball as serious as he once took it. And he just doesn't feel like it's as important to his sanity. There are players that how they perform is their mental well-being. Them performing well is them feeling mentally well about themselves. With Ben Simmons, he might have reached a point where basketball is one of the last things that he really cares about. And whether he has 2 points or he has 20, he's going to go home to the same house with a smile on his face and say,
Kemba Walker,
I'm fine. It's cool. It's just a game. And I do think being in Brooklyn is going to help that a little bit because it's not this gigantic market. We know that Philly. New York is, but the fans are not as crazy as Philly fans. They are not as hard on you as Knicks fans. It's a low-key spot. The Nets also aren't a organization or a destination that can reconstruct a career. And I think Ben Simmons is in need of reconstructing his career and starting it from the ground up. And when you have bad coaching, when you have bad management, when you have bad ownership, you saw Joe Tsai calling out Kyrie Irving on Twitter the other day, which maybe it was warranted, maybe it wasn't. But at the same time, I think that's a private conversation you have with Kyrie Irving. You don't take it to the public eye. The Nets are finished. The Brooklyn Nets are finished. Kyrie and Katie are scoring at historic levels, and they can't win. They don't have the depth. Defense is a problem, rebounding, leadership, coaching. I feel like the Nets have to cut their losses, and they have to trade Kevin Durant, even if it's not a package that they want. Maybe get a borderline all-star player and a young player for Kevin Durant. And you know what? Let's have the Nets be a fun team. Let's trade Kyrie Irving to the Lakers and let's take on Westbrook's last final year, and then just have this team be Westbrook-oriented with some shooters.
With Ben Simmons?
And let's see what...
Oh, my God, with Ben Simmons, bro.
And let's see what the Westbrook can do.
Oh, my God. Ben Simmons, Westbrook, and Claxton starting is crazy.
I'm going to scream every night. That's going to be crazy.
And if I was Brooklyn, I wouldn't mind trading Ben either. I'd explore that avenue.
I don't even think it'd be an offer out there for him right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's really caught the eye of any franchise right now.
But I do think the Nets, they took a huge risk when they tore apart that Dinwiddie, D'Lo, LeVert, Allen Nets team with Kenny Atkinson. This was the risk that, when you try to build a championship team, you get these star players, you trade picks to acquire other players, and now you're left with no cap space. You're left with not a ton of picks, which means now if you don't feel like this team can win a championship legitimately, you cut your losses and you try to get anything you can for them back. Because Kyrie is not going to come back to Brooklyn. He's done. I think contract year.
Especially after what the owner said yesterday.
Yeah, the owner
He's been playing good, though.
The owner has thrown him under the bus
multiple times too.
I feel like it's the Nets just have to cut their losses, and I don't think this is.
I don't think Brooklyn cares if you.
This is a salvageable situation.
It's not like you said. I 100% agree with you all. It's not a desirable destination right now. I mean, with those guys there, with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, we all knew before that was going to happen that it was going to probably be drama filled. But I didn't imagine it being this much drama within the organization. And then adding Ben Simmons.
You brought in two guys that have never been culture builders. So it's like you brought in two guys that were like Kevin Durant coming from a culture in Golden State, Kyrie coming from LeBron, two guys who aren't culture builders. You built the foundation with D'Lo, Dinwiddie, LeVert, Jared Allen. You built the foundation.
Kenny Atkinson.
The fans fell in love with that foundation, and they rode for that team. Then you got greedy, you got trigger happy, which I would have probably done the same thing at that time too. 99% of the world would, maybe like a 1%.
What, getting James Harden?
Getting Kevin Durant first to start, getting Kevin Durant, getting Kyrie. You make that move 10 times out of 10 at that moment.
For sure.
Because those two guys are the guys at that time. Hindsight in 20, obviously it's a bad move, but you did what any organization would have did. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Now you start fresh, you build from the bottom, and you build that organization. You build from the draft, build from the start. You see now free agency, trading, that shit didn't work for you. Now you have to build a culture. You have to build an organization.
Rebuild it.
Well, you have to build one. You don't have nothing.
No, like we had one, we lost it.
Yeah.
It's like starting from ground zero again.
You have to. You got to start fresh and build that culture. I mean, like, you see the Knicks, and they're building a culture. They're building a foundation. They're starting fresh. You see the Golden State. They didn't build the culture, built the foundation. You have to start fresh, build the culture.
I don't know. I wasn't that big of a fan of Kevin Durant requesting the trade and just having him come back. I mean, if you see his post-game conferences, honestly, from what I see, obviously I'm not a body language reader, but from what I see, he's not as animated as he was the first couple of years. Why would you be? You're playing for a coach that you wanted fired. You're playing for a GM that you don't like. I mean, like, it almost seems like it's forced at this point. And I'd be surprised if they don't pick it up. I'd be surprised if KD and or Kyrie, one of them, presumably Kevin Durant's probably moved before the deadline.
At the same time, you two forced your way to Brooklyn. So you can't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't play, I get to playing devil's advocate. But this is ultimately what I wanted.
Good thing for the Nets if they do want to trade Kevin Durant. He's second in the league in scoring right now. He's always going to be that.
You also
scorer.
don't have your pick. Well, it's a pick swap. So
we have picks. We have Philly's pick, but they're probably going to turn it around too. But
you have a pick.
It
swap,
just doesn't. So. It just right now it just looks like it's all falling down. And
you're hurt.
No, it is what it is. I got the Jets. They're building something.
Yeah, that's a culture. Look,
Yeah, they're building
a
something.
fucking great culture.
Yeah.
The Nets.
Cut ties, though, man. I agree with you guys.
Because Ben Simmons has been so bad, I think it's the perfect time for a Would You Rather.
Oh, man.
So this is Would You Rather Ben Simmons edition. First name up, Bruce Brown.
I hate both. Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown, sadly.
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball.
Alex Caruso.
Alex.
I like Alex. Yeah, I like
Honestly, right now, yeah, Alex.
Jared Vanderbilt.
I'll take Ben.
I don't think you asked me about this one.
I'll take Ben.
You
You're
added
not
it.
taking Vando?
Vando's
I would
good.
take Vando.
Vando's a really good rebound.
Give me Vando. Give me Vando. You didn't. I'm saying you didn't ask me about this one though.
Derek White.
Give me fucking Ben.
I'll take Ben Simmons.
Kyle Anderson.
Ooh,
Slow-mo?
give me slow mo.
I'll take slow-mo.
Grant Williams.
Give me Grant. I've seen him go 1-on-1 with Giannis. Give me Grant.
Nah, I'll take him Ben.
Give me Grant.
And last name, Bobby Portis.
Milwaukee.
No, I know, but this was just an odd one.
Right now, last.
Give me Bobby though. Bobby a bucket. Give me Bobby.
Damn.
Ben is dead stinky.
I'll take, right, from what I've seen, I'll take Bobby too right now. I'm not taking Grant Williams over Ben. That's, to me, that's insanity right now.
He can space the floor. He can play defense.
He can guard.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a role player. That's
So
what
is
Ben
Ben.
Simmons is looking like right now. But
Ben ain't even a role player.
I mean,
right
if, like, I'm just seeing it as Grant Williams is like
Grant
comes to
Williams
the
will
Nets.
fit. Grant Williams will fit better for your team than Ben Simmons. Fact.
Is he a better player?
No, he just fits better.
I thought that's who's the better player. All right.
Nah, it's who would you rather?
Oh, on my squad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, give me Grant.
Yeah, you can shoot the
Who
three.
would rather Ben over Derek White?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Derek White
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, me too.
Good player though.
I'd
solid.
rather Ben over.
Solid
Derek
player,
White.
though.
Yeah.